Hey, we're back.
Hey, hello and welcome to another episode of the
Brave Stories
podcast. This now, episode 6, Janelle.
Whoa!
We're really building something.
We are. Go us.
Fantastic.
So brave.
So brave. And today, Janelle, we are speaking about value number 4.
Carrying on our series about our brave values.
About our brave values. Really, the goal here is to tease out a bit more around what bravery looks like and what it really is and what it really isn't.
Exactly.
And so today we're up to value number 4, which is, Janelle?
Comfort breeds confidence.
Love that.
It's an interesting one, isn't it, though? I mean, it's maybe not what you would have expected to hear from us. It's a little bit cryptic.
It's a bit cryptic, maybe. And the thing that you will soon discover is that it's pretty well tied to what we're trying to build at Brave and Lucky, which if you don't know what Brave and Lucky is, this podcast is brought to you by Brave and Lucky. It's an underwear brand that Janelle and I, with our friend Monica, who is in Australia, are effectively trying to build, okay? Underwear for the biggest days of your life. You're going to want to follow us on our socials. Right now, we have a sort of behind-the-scenes Instagram. It's at braveandlucky.life.
Yes.
And you're going to see us being brave, building our business. But essentially, this value right here, like all the values really, is what we're centering our sort of business on and what we're trying to build. This one, it's referring a bit to the comfort of the underwear themselves.
Yeah.
But it's a broader message, and that's what we're going to talk through today.
For sure. And remember, if you ever want any more information about Brave and Lucky, it's always in the show notes.
It's always in the show notes. Fantastic. Okay. So, as we do, Janelle, as we have been doing, we're also going to be covering our recurring segments.
Yes, we are.
Come on. So we're going to start pretty much right now with Bravery in the News.
Bravery in the News. And today it's a little different. Oh, Bravery in the News.
Bravery in the News.
Jingle.
Yeah.
Okay, and today it's a little bit different. I mean, it's maybe not the best story of bravery, I would say.
Don't start like that. You can't just start like that. You have to really sell it to us.
Well, I really just wanted to take a different approach and look at something that maybe we could have actually... This segment could potentially be the brave or stupid one as well, and maybe that's for a future episode, I just thought.
Okay.
But today I thought, why not talk about... That's going to be in it, right?
That's fine.
That's fine? The sirens?
Continue. Why not talk about...
Okay, why not talk about the Netflix series Love is Blind?
Wow. I have never seen this, Janelle, so you're going to have to explain what it actually is.
I will.
What's the premise?
Well, it kind of became popular first because the first series came out during the COVID lockdown. So that's when I first watched it. Season 2 came out in February 2022. So, I mean, it's been out for a little while, but I just was thinking about it and I was like, this is kind of brave. Anyway, here's the premise of this show. Essentially, it's women and men who would like to meet someone. They want to fall in love, but maybe they feel like they have been judged based on their appearances in some way. So they want someone to love them for who they truly are inside. And so they go into this.
They're being brave.
They're being brave. In that sense, they are being brave. They are wanting to find someone to really love them for who they truly are, not just what they look like. That's brave.
Beautiful. And
so they go into this place. I don't even know what you'd say it is. A place, a mansion or something. And they essentially do speed dating. So the guys and the girls all kind of do speed dating with each other, but they do it in these pods so they can hear the voice of the other person, but they can't see them. So they date for a couple of weeks. Well, I don't even know. It might even be just 1 week. Who knows about time frames on reality TV shows? But
this is not the catfishy one.
No, this is not Catfish. Different one. I mean, there's a lot of dating shows out there.
I can't keep up.
This one's probably one of the best in the sense of like, it's supposed to not be so superficial, However, season 2 was a little bit,
Okay.
season 1 was definitely better. But hey, anyway, this idea is then they choose someone based on the conversation and the connection. And the reason I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, hey, this is an example of bravery, is that in the news or in our social news, is that typically it's the people who are the most vulnerable, or who are willing to, who are not trying to like put on a show or kind of be arrogant or anything like that. Those are the people who typically do the best. And I was thinking that that's true when it comes to bravery. Is like, it's super easy when you're in an uncomfortable situation like dating to kind of put on like these defense mechanisms to kind of, and a lot of it comes from insecurity. Yes. Where you feel insecure, and so you kind of become a bit, some people might become arrogant. Some people just try and show all their best parts of themselves, but often that comes across not that attractive. Whereas actually, like the ones who are vulnerable and who actually show up.
That's real bravery, right?
That's real bravery, and those are the ones that do well. And I don't know on this series if any of them will stay together, because it's not as good as the first season. But in the first season, there was a lovely couple who are still together, and they were very sweet and vulnerable with each other, and they were brave.
I love that. They were brave. Okay. So this week's Bravery in the News was Love Island. Love is Blind.
Not Love Island.
Not Love Island.
Anyway, in Love Island, stupid.
They're just stupid.
But anyway, that was for any of you who are interested in reality TV, something completely different that you don't hear a lot on our podcast. So we just thought we'd bring in a whole new audience.
I love that. So that was the first segment of today's episode, Bravery in the News. You're going to need to stick around right to the end, because the second segment, recurring segment, which we all love, it's become pretty much world famous by now, Janelle.
Yeah.
Is Brave or Stupid.
Yeah.
And we're going to be covering really cool topic today.
Mm-hmm.
And really, it's going to be us deciding whether this thing is brave or stupid. So you're going to want to stay to the end for that.
Mm-hmm,
but let's get back to it, Janelle. Let's get back to the topic of today's episode, which is the value, or kind of like the topic of comfort breeds confidence.
Yes.
And what, I think the first kind of thing that this sparks maybe in people's minds, and maybe for you listening, is like, hang on a second. Bravery is about getting outside of your comfort zone, isn't it? How can comfort have anything to do with bravery or with confidence?
And those are great questions. And that's why we wanted to talk a little bit more about this idea.
Exactly.
So Joe,
I guess, you go.
No, I was going to say, do you have to step out of your comfort zone to be brave?
Wow. That is the key question today. Okay. So we talk about this thing called a comfort zone. It's pretty well known. It's pretty well believed that if you are living in your comfort zone, you're not being brave, okay? We'd like to sort of challenge that today, okay? But we'd like to say, what if there was actually what's called an extended comfort zone, okay? And I heard this from one of my friends and co-workers recently, and I thought it was such a cool idea, is that, it can be scary to think about. Here's my comfort zone. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm making a circle. Well, if you're not watching with my hands. Here's my comfort zone, and here is where this thing is, and I need to get out of here and step into this thing which is outside of the circle that I've called my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas what if you said to yourself, my comfort zone can grow, and it can be extended, and maybe that is my true comfort zone, but around the periphery of it is a small perimeter which is my extended comfort zone.
Mm.
And within that space, I can slowly step into things that don't scare the crap out of me all the time.
But maybe scare you a little bit.
But we can't all be absolutely terrified every single day of things we're doing, right?
True.
So scare you a little bit, and over time your comfort zone grows, then your extended comfort zone also grows out, and before you know it, your life's changed.
Amazing. Your comfort has just increased.
So that's how we like to think about comfort and confidence, or comfort and bravery, is that there's this sense of an extended comfort zone where in a sense you are comfortable
while
you're
you're
also-
out of your comfort zone.
yes, while you're being brave as well.
Yeah.
And that ties in nicely to what we're trying to do with our underwear, Janelle, right?
Yeah.
How does that work? If we just briefly preview that, we're going to talk about it a bit later. But
Yeah, we'll go a little bit more in depth. But essentially, this is a big value for our underwear brand because we definitely believe that you have to be comfortable physically when you're stepping out of your comfort zone.
yes.
So for our underwear, it
If
means...
I can just add, the last thing you want to be thinking about when you are, say, I don't know, in an interview, you know, when you are being brave, is wedgie or other such thing.
Exactly. Itchiness.
You want to
Tight.
be fully comfortable down there
Yeah.
to be able to be fully brave.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. And so, yeah, when it comes to our underwear, that's why we've been taking a long time to choose a fabric that's comfortable and choosing fits that are comfortable, because we really think on a practical sense that comfort is really important in your bravery journey. So that's where you can see there's a little bit of that tension, change between you're physically comfortable, which gives you the courage to then step out into maybe where you don't always feel as much. Is it metaphorically? I don't know.
It's a balance of metaphorically and practically. That's what we love about it.
Yeah.
So cool. And if you did want to follow how we're going with the business and say, for example, the fabric we have chosen for optimum comfort, we actually run a vlog. We do a vlog on YouTube, okay? You're going to want to check out our YouTube channel, Brave and Lucky.
In the show notes, you'll see that.
In the show notes. And, or maybe you're watching this podcast on YouTube, so you're already on our channel. Check out our vlog. See how we're progressing with our business and making our undies. Anyway, that's just a side thing.
Yes. So we thought we'd play a little game.
Yes.
Because no one likes to be uncomfortable. And we thought, hey, here is 10 situations that are uncomfortable. For majority of people, we'd say they're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We've come up with maybe half of them ourselves, and then half of them I saw on our Instagram account that I thought, these are great. Yeah. So I'm going to read... Sorry, you go, Joe.
I just wanted to set the scene here and say, look, what we reckon is that when you're in one of these situations, one of these 10 situations, it is very difficult to be brave, okay? Because you're uncomfortable. When you're uncomfortable, it's hard to be brave.
Yeah.
So that's why we're playing this game. We're going to name these 10 things. What we want you to do is keep your score as we walk through them, okay?
Yeah. How many of these make you uncomfortable?
How many of these 10 things make you uncomfortable? Let us know in the...
comments or on Instagram.
In the comments or on Instagram.
So, starting, number 1. When you make eye contact with a person coming out of the toilet or restroom that you are just going into.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, number 1. Number 2, exiting from the middle of the row. Yeah. Number 3, walking back after you've bowled.
Yeah, so bowling.
Like bowling, on temp and bowling.
Yeah.
4, trying on clothes in a changing room and not liking any of them. 5, having happy birthday sung to you. 6, on a similar note, opening presents in front of people. 7, saying goodbye and then walking the same way. 8, asking someone to repeat their name and still not getting it. I mean, that's happened to me a lot of times in France. Number 9, everything to do with elevators. Going in, waiting, the buttons, everything. And finally, number 10, carrying toilet paper home from the supermarket.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'll tell you a good 7 or 8 of those make me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Was there any that stood out to you as the most uncomfortable, where you find it cringy?
Good question. I think the one around bowling is really good, okay? Because you don't go bowling very often, so maybe you don't know how to really be in that situation, right?
Yeah.
And so you bowl, right? And it's almost like a stage up there because all your friends are back. They're
seated normally, and you're standing.
You're standing in your weird shoes.
Yeah.
Those shoes are so weird.
And slippery, a little.
And slippery. And so you bowl. either you've done really well,
Mm-hmm.
or there's three options. You've done really well, you've done a bit average, or you've really balked it down the pits. Unless you've got those blocker things.
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore because I'm grown up. But yeah, then you turn around, if you've got a strike, do you
Do you
fist pump it?
celebrate?
Yeah.
Do you go, yeah, arms up?
Yeah, and then and if you've balked it, do you just sort of look down? Do you continue? There's so many questions. Do you continue to hold eye contact as you walk slowly back to them? Do you look away? What do you do?
Do you walk normally, or do you kind of
Yeah,
put
do
on
you
a little
sort
bit of a stride or like a dance because you're
I guess there's
happy or
yeah.
sad?
There's usually loud music, so you
Yes,
could use
exactly.
that to your advantage.
That is true. You could kind of shimmy dance a little bit as you go.
Yeah.
'Cause
What do you do with your hands, your arms? Yeah, it's an uncomfortable
that is
situation.
an uncomfortable
What about you,
situation.
Janelle?
Well, I think the one that I can definitely relate to the most would be the asking someone to repeat their name and still not getting it. Mainly because we live in a foreign country, so a lot of the names that I hear, it's not just a name, or it's a name that I know, but it's said with a French accent, so I just can't get it. I think the other day I met someone called Dorothy, but it was in a French accent. And how would you do that?
Dorothy.
Yeah,
Dorothy.
or something.
Yeah,
Maybe it was her or something. Anyway, I got her to say it so many times, and I still didn't get it. And then afterwards, I had to ask somebody else.
Wow.
And that's just it's uncomfortable because
You can only ask so many times.
exactly, and then you kind of
Then
if
you
you
gotta pretend
ask
that you
more
got it.
exactly, and if you ask more than one time, then you kind of have to be like, okay, yeah, got it. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if you haven't got it,
Yeah.
and then if you don't use their name again, it's kind of like, well,
What you got to really hope is that you're not in a situation after that where you have to write their name in front of them.
yes, oh
Or
my
something.
gosh.
Because then there's tricks to that. Maybe how do you spell it again?
I've definitely used the how do you spell it before. I mean, we used to run a group and we used to have so many people come into our house and we needed to know all their names, and we'd often do games where I needed to write them down. And I totally used that. How do you spell your name again? A couple of times
And
to
they're
get people saying A-B.
T-I-M. T-I-M. And you're like, oh,
Oh, okay.
thought it might be
THIM.
good one. So let us know your score in the, either in the
Comments.
on YouTube or in the Insta at braveandlucky.life.
Yeah.
We'd love to know about it. And
And if you have any other ones that you think are just they make you the most uncomfortable that you think should be added to the list, let us know as well.
yes.
It's a bit of fun.
So this is the big point, that really what we believe is that when you're not comfortable, when you're uncomfortable, you can't be confident, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you think through any of those situations that we just named, the 10 there, carrying toilet paper home from the supermarket. Are you doing that confidently? People are looking at you going, I know exactly what you're going to use that toilet paper for. Can you be fully confident when you're walking along with toilet paper?
Yeah, dude.
Having happy birthday sung to you, are you feeling confident and brave in that situation? What are you supposed to do while you're sitting there when people are singing happy birthday to you?
Do you sing along?
Do you sing along? Do you just slowly nod and smile?
That's normally what we do,
Probably.
nod and smile.
So, really in life, these are all funny situations, but when you're not comfortable, you can't be fully confident.
Yes. Yep. So, coming back to this idea of when you're not comfortable, you can't be fully confident. However, it is important to sometimes step out of your comfort zone, particularly for the
Yes.
big things we have to do in our life. So,
step into your extended comfort zone.
oh yes, sorry, to step into our
Step out
extended.
of your core comfort zone into your extended comfort zone.
Yeah. So this kind of might answer a little bit of the question then,
Oh,
hence
great.
based on what you've said, but no, that's part of it. But what's some other ways that stepping out? How can you do that more comfortably?
Yeah, good question, Janelle. I'm going to talk through the one that I've noted.
Okay.
Okay, because this is a big one for me. I like to visualize things, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'm the kind of personality where it's I I overanalyze situations in the future and how they might go. But genuinely, I do feel like it's useful to me sometimes to sort of visualize, say, an important presentation at work or whatever. What might the context of that be? What room is it in? Like, what am I going to be seeing?
It's a lot of preparation.
Right? It's kind of like mental preparation for that. I find that really useful. And kind of like, also with that, being comfortable, sort of like analyzing the consequences of if it all goes wrong, right? So it's like, because oftentimes, even if it all goes wrong, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like, you might be incredibly uncomfortable, embarrassed, whatever, but you're not probably going to die.
No.
Okay.
I mean, that's the extreme. There's probably a few other things before there that's also not going to happen. You're probably not going to lose your job, or you're not going to...
Yes.
I don't know.
That sort of thing. But I just find that's a really cool way for me. It helps me a lot to be like, sure, I'm scared of this thing, or I'm going to be sort of uncomfortable, probably, but what's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
It helps me to get into that extended comfort zone, to be like, this is not... I can give this a go, and I'm going to be okay.
Yeah, and if you fail, it will be okay.
Yeah.
Because failing is a part of learning. Yeah, and I think that's a good thing of realizing, becoming more comfortable. Failing is like a good one. And on that, I guess it's like the more you actually fail, the easier it is. So it's kind of this hard thing that you have to start somewhere, right? But the more that it happens, the easier it becomes. I think another thing is finding things that are familiar in the unfamiliar. So when you're doing something different and stepping out, as we say, what can be scary often is the unknown. So I think what Joe said is great, of like preparing as much as you can, but at the end of the day, you're never going to know absolutely everything. So do as much preparation as you can, but then also you are going into this situation, so take with you something that's familiar or safe. So maybe it's you have a really comfortable jumper, or I don't know, something that, or a pair of underwear, dun dun dun, that makes you feel comfortable or confident, something that's just about, and have that with you, knowing that is something familiar and safe in the uncomfortable. And I think on that, you go to a job interview, don't obviously you have to wear something that's nice, but don't wear something that's like cutting into your stomach, or I don't know, super uncomfortable. Like there's ways that you can physically be comfortable and feel your best, maybe wake up a bit earlier and do your hair nicer, or something to make you feel that comfort.
It's like being comfortable in your own skin is gonna set you up to be more confident, be more brave when you need it most. That's what we really believe, right?
Yeah, and I mean, from here you can really see the heart of our underwear brand and kind of where it started, because we saw this as a great need, in the sense of, hey, what if every single person had something that was special to them and gave them that little bit of comfort, gave them that bravery that maybe no one else, most likely no one else knows that you're wearing them, but so when you go into these different, you go into your extended comfort zone, into this new area, that you have that on to make you comfortable.
It's like the secret superpower that you've put on that morning in order to achieve this thing that's in your extended comfort zone.
And do you already do that, Joe, with a pair of underwear you have?
Do I do that with a pair of underwear I have? It's a great question, Janelle. I'm probably one that would pick my sort of you got your favorites, you got your favorite comfy ones. And if you have a big day, genuinely, I will be looking through the drawer being which ones I'm going to pick today. And right now, it's actually probably the ones I'm wearing.
Wow.
They are my Swan Dry underwear.
Oh, nice. Christmas present?
They are fantastic. They're a Christmas present. Underwear tend to be a Christmas present.
For you.
For me, no. But
And for everyone who's looking to do Christmas shopping this year.
Exactly.
Wink, wink.
When will you start to sell them?
Oh.
That's just one minor detail.
What? Sorry, when
we start to sell
when we
them.
start to sell them.
Start to sell them so people can buy them.
True.
Which we're not yet doing, but
hopefully soon. Before Christmas, hopefully.
Coming soon. Cool. What about you, Janelle? Do you have that?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same as you, and I mean, I think it's because I've been waiting for Brave and Lucky to launch and to have those underwear. Because I haven't. I mean, I've definitely over the years had special pairs that have. I mean, I just know I'm going to be more comfortable in them, and so I choose those ones.
Totally. And so, this episode is a little bit different because it's really focused in on what our, around our underwear being really comfortable and that giving confidence. It's around the sort of clothing, it's around what you wear, really.
Mm-hmm.
Although we've painted a broader picture.
We played a little game.
Yeah, but we wanted to talk you through just like, essentially, when we're thinking about our underwear brand, what are we building into it? Essentially, we are starting with ultra comfy fit, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's the most important thing about Brave and Lucky, about our underwear, is that it would be ultra comfortable.
Yeah.
Everything is designed for comfort.
Yeah, exactly.
Why?
Because comfort breeds confidence.
Love it, Janelle, because comfort breeds confidence. When you're in those moments where you need confidence, you need to be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why our underwear are going to be some of the most comfortable underwear you've ever tried in your life.
Yes, for sure.
Yes.
For sure.
Well, there you go.
That's it. I mean, it was a nice short one today.
It was a nice short one today, and you've stuck around to the end.
So you get to be part of our final last segment of the day.
Last segment of the day, our recurring segment, which is...
Brave or Stupid.
Stupid. Brave or Stupid. Okay, so today, Janelle, we thought we'd cover actually two things.
Yeah.
Compare and contrast.
Yeah, because I feel like we can do a good job comparing them. Because we were trying to choose between the two, and we were like, hey, why not do both? Because why not? So Joe, what is our topics for today?
Love it. Our topics for today are parkour.
In particular, running along the rooftops of Paris.
Yeah. Rooftop Paris parkour.
Yeah.
Which, believe it or not, is a thing. We have seen it.
Yeah, you might think it's specific, but it's specific because we're speaking from personal experience where we saw it and were absolutely petrified for these people.
Yes, so that is rooftop Paris parkour versus skydiving.
Yes.
Okay, which one is brave, which one is stupid?
Or are they both brave, or are they both stupid?
That's also a possibility. Good one, Janelle. Okay, so do you want to start with the rooftop Paris parkour? Maybe tell the story.
Yes, okay. So we were walking. Joe and I like to walk. We live in a beautiful city to walk in. So we're just going for a walk. And we looked up because I look up all the time. That's one thing you should always do in Paris. And I saw these people. So first to paint the picture, it was a classic Haussmann. Six-story Paris building.
But we're talking that's high.
I mean, I don't really know in meters,
it's not like
but
a skyscraper, but it's like
it's still 6 stories. Like literally, if you fall from that, you're not surviving. So and like underneath it is just, I mean, it's not grass underneath. We're talking pavement, concrete road. Yeah. So anyway, they're up there on the rooftops, maybe like 3 or 4 boys.
Yes, youths.
Youths. I mean, they didn't look old. Running along the rooftops and jumping between different roofs.
Absolutely crazy.
It was so scary, and both of us, it was that moment where you don't want to watch, but you just can't look away.
Yeah.
Do you know that feeling?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that was very scary.
Rooftops Paris parkour, and then essentially skydiving. I mean, we all know skydiving. We know.
Yes, we don't have to explain that.
We don't exactly have an example of it, but is it brave or is it stupid?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those extreme sports, and I mean, in the whole extreme sport situation, there's a lot of ones where you're like, are you brave if you do that, or are you a little bit stupid?
Well, you have that question of like, do people who skydive know that they don't have to?
exactly. Or like, do they
like,
yeah, exactly. They don't have to. And do they realize they're jumping out of a plane?
Do they realize that they're jumping out of a plane at kilometers above the Earth's surface?
Relying fully on an instructor, I guess. This is a different, but like literally a sheet of material to save their life.
Absolutely crazy. So I think, maybe in our descriptions of these two activities, we have started to show a little bit of what we think about them.
Definitely for the first one.
Definitely for the first one. Are we unanimous in this, Janelle? That
yes, for the first one.
Parkour across Paris buildings is stupid.
Yes, I'm sorry, but in my opinion, I don't think that's ever brave. I would classify that in stupid category.
Yeah. For me, it's like, do the benefits of doing it well outweigh the consequences of doing it badly? In that situation, no.
No.
You're doing it well, people looking up being like, you are crazy.
Yeah.
Not really even that cool. And doing it badly, you're going to die.
Yeah. I mean, some people could argue that it is cool. Like, there's a couple of videos of people doing Paris parkour rooftops, and some of it looks pretty impressive.
Maybe
However,
I'm just old then. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old.
No, what I'm just saying is people could. That's not what we think, but people out there, could think that that's cool.
Yeah.
We would argue exactly that the negative outcomes are just so much higher. So we would put that in the stupid category.
Probably the safety precautions are not being thought about.
No, I mean, there's just so many things that could go wrong.
Yeah. Whereas skydiving, I'd probably class it as brave.
Yeah, I mean, it's a close one. I think it's definitely... I don't think it's stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, would I do it? No way. Would you do it, Joe?
I've thought about doing it, but I don't know if I'd do it now. I'm 32 now. I'm getting old, as I said.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
You don't want to do it something to relive your youth?
Well, I don't know. It looks pretty scary.
Yeah.
And I kind of think, like, at some point, what's the benefit?
Yeah, I mean...
So I'll still say it's brave.
It's brave because... this is where
you don't have to do it.
You don't have to do it, but the difference is that there actually is safety precautions put in place. It's been, proven, like, you're doing it with an instructor.
Yes.
You actually do have a, what's the balloon thing called? A parachute.
Balloon.
You have this one balloon that holds you up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it's a proven thing that you're pretty much not going to die.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty much not.
Some I've heard
That's...
people have. But
well,
anyways.
yeah, of course people are. In any extreme sport, there's always going to be a couple of things. But in general, you're probably pretty safe.
So, yeah, that was the latest edition of Brave or Stupid. Basically, as you see, we just on a whim class things as either brave or stupid. We don't have a fully clear definition of sort of stupidity or bravery in this sense, do we?
Well, here we've
sort of go with what we feel.
Oh, yeah. On this one, we've based it a little bit on safety.
Safety was this one.
Yeah, like that's kind of how we separate it. And
yes.
I mean, I would argue potentially it's also to do with brain development.
Brain development. I
mean, you're probably not going to see that many people who have fully developed brains parkouring on Paris rooftops, but maybe you will. I don't know.
Yeah. And it's sort of about the payoff, right?
Yeah.
Like, what's the payoff? Is it a good payoff?
Yeah.
Then maybe it would be brave.
Yeah, and I mean, extreme sports, there's nothing wrong with them. I would say a lot of people who do extreme sports are incredibly brave.
And maybe in their context, there is a big payoff. I don't know. It's difficult to know. This was the latest brave or stupid.
Let us know what you think. Do you agree with us or disagree with us?
Do you agree or disagree? And let us know in the comments or on Instagram if you want us to cover any other topics in brave or stupid.
Yes.
This rambling segment where we just talk about different things and then sort of slowly decide over time whether they're brave or stupid. It's been fantastic.
It's been a good one.
Janelle, this has been great. That was our episode today on the fourth value of Brave and Lucky, or the fourth thing that defines bravery in this modern world, which was
comfort breeds confidence.
Comfort breeds
go
confidence.
Be confident in your comfort, in your extended comfort zone.
Love it. That was really one of the key takeaways that I brought today.
Wow, good on you.
What key takeaway did you bring?
My key takeaway was
Love.
no, different ways to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, of course. Different ways to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's been fantastic. We'll see you again next time on Brave Stories.
Bye.
Bye.